Good morning, everybody. How are you all today? It was a lovely day yesterday, lovely and sunny. I don't know what today will bring. A fairly brief assembly from me this morning. I wanted to give a little bit of an update about how lunchtimes are going. Whenever we try something new, it's really important that we look carefully at what we're doing and look at what's going well and things that we need to improve. So having done our new lunchtime arrangements for the past 2 days, and I've watched them really, really carefully, I've been in the dining hall and outside both days, then I think it's a really good time to have a look at what's going well and what we all need to do better at. So what is going well at the moment? What I call WWW, what went well. So in the last 2 days for our new lunchtimes, and do remember the reason it's more difficult, the reason that we're struggling with this a little bit is because of COVID and because I still need to keep and make sure, even though you're now together as a year group, that each of the year groups are separated from the other year groups, which means that you all have specific sitting times. That means the time that you come to the dining hall to have your lunch. And that means that everybody has to come together and get their lunch, and everybody then has to leave together before the next 2 year groups can come in, and we have to keep those year groups separated. Then that part's going really, really well. Okay, here's my list. I made a list, having learned over the last two days what's going well. Okay. Basically, all the things that are going well are all the things that you children are doing. So I'm going to go through them because you've tried really hard with this, and it's important that we recognise that. The first thing is you've all been there on time with your hands washed, ready for your lunch, so that's fantastic. The noise level was really noisy on Monday and so much better on Tuesday. Year 1. I'm going to do a special shout out for you because you really worked on making sure that you were using inside voices whilst you chatted and had a lovely time eating your lunches. So well done, and I think everybody really improved that on the second day. The next thing is that you're playing together outside wherever your playground is at the moment. That's going really well, and I've had lots of children who've said to me how lovely it is to be playing, having that slightly longer lunchtime play and having a lovely time playing with their friends from both classes. So that's what's going well. I've got so many more to say. Okay, this is really good, and I want to really thank you for this. At the moment, we can't choose where we're sitting in the hall. So sandwiches come in first and they sit together, and then dinners come in after that. And you have been filling up the tables really smartly and really efficiently, just taking the next place with no fuss whatsoever. So that's fantastic. You have been getting on with your lunches and chatting nicely. Because lunch is a social time, isn't it, where you can chat with the people around you. You've been doing that really well. You have, and I thought you might have forgotten how to do this, you have all been using your knives and forks brilliantly, so thank you for that. And you've been super careful to try to keep your table tidy and not drop things on the floor. I don't think we've ever had such a clean hall floor. You've done a really good job with that, so thank you for that. Talking of thank yous, thank you for your thank yous. Your manners have been very, very good. And I know that you've all remembered to say please and thank you when you've been queuing up and getting your lunches, and thanking Mrs. Sutcliffe and her team for the dinner. So all of those things have been absolutely great, and they're all thanks to you, really. You've done a super job with that. Now, as well as WWWs, what went wells, we also need to think about EBIs, and EBIs stand for even better if, and I've got a list of those as well. Now, I've watched really carefully for the last 2 days, and I've identified, I think, where we've got some problems that we need to work together on. The first one is, particularly for the older year groups, we need to be not saving seats at the moment. So if you get in first and you're on sandwiches, for example, we're not saving seats for our friends. I thought we might have been able to do that, but actually it doesn't work out, and it makes it really difficult to spot where the spare seats are and all the rest of it, and it just takes longer. So do make sure, my top tip there is make sure that you are lining up, whether you're sandwiches or lunches, with somebody that you like, with a friend, and then you'll end up sitting next to them or near to them, and you'll have lovely people to chat to. So yeah, we can't be doing saving seats at the moment. Okay, and then the most important one that we need to solve really quickly, and this is our problem, my problem, not your problem, is that particular year groups, and I know who you are, it's year 2 and year 4, have not had enough time to eat. So the first sitting is the little ones. So nursery and reception come in together and they eat their lunch, and that's fine. They've all had enough time to eat their lunch really nicely. And then year 1 come in, and year 1 have done brilliantly and they've had enough time to eat their lunch. But then year 2 have been really rushed, and year 4, year 3 have done really well. They've managed to eat their lunches nicely. But I think year 2 and year 4 particularly have had a more difficult 2 days with that. And I've noticed that a few of you haven't had time to finish your puddings and things like that. And that's not okay. It's really important that you have enough time in the middle of the day to eat your lunch, whether it's a packed lunch or a school dinner. So I'm really sorry if you haven't had enough time to finish your dinner. I really am. What we need to do is to improve things so that doesn't happen again, and that you've got a more reasonable time to eat your lunch. So we are going to have another look at the timings to make sure that they work out okay, particularly for those year groups, because year 5 and 6 have been absolutely brilliant. They've had enough time to eat their lunch, but it is those 2 particular year groups. In fact, year 6, you had time to eat seconds the other day when I was in there with some extra paninis. That was nice. And year 5. So we need to have a look at that. Okay, so that's not something you can do, that's something I can do with all the people working together. But I just wanted to let you know that we know that there's a problem there, and we are going to do our very best to make sure that that doesn't happen again, and that you have a reasonable time to nicely eat your lunch. Okay, because everybody needs a reasonable time to nicely eat their lunch, even me. Okay, so I understand, and I'm sorry if that's happened to you. So we're going to have a look at some timings and try to make some tweaks, and I'm hoping that it will be better today in terms of those timings. All I need from you is all that lovely list to continue, all the things that you're doing brilliantly. We need to continue doing to help keep improving our lunch times and making sure that our dinner times are lovely social times when we can eat and we can talk and enjoy our friends and our classmates. Okay, so let's see how today goes. Every day is a learning day, and this week it's definitely being a learning week for me. And we've got all sorts of people who are really bothered about trying to make this better for you. Your teachers, your lovely midday supervisors who've been doing a brilliant job this week, making sure you're in the right place at the right time and helping you, and even doing your scraping for you. And of course, Mrs. Sutcliffe, who's made sure she's had all the dinner ready on time and that there's been enough for everybody. So it's a bit of a challenge, but we like a challenge. And my challenge is to make sure that you do have enough time to eat nicely. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at that one. You carry on doing what you're doing, because you are doing a brilliant job and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much, everybody. We'll do an update tomorrow, see if today's better. I have my fingers crossed that with the little tweaks that we're going to make, it will be better for you. And I'll make sure I'm there, or I'll come and ask how it's gone, so I definitely know. Okay, so have a lovely day, have a lovely lunchtime, and I will see you round and about today. So bye for now, everyone. Bye.